Thank you for joining us on our Family First Life Tri-State Serve the People podcast. We appreciate you tuning in, spending your time to develop and grow with us. Follow us, please, on all our social media platforms at Family First Life Tri-State or FFL Tri-State. We love you. Keep listening, and I hope this information is serving you across the country. All right, everybody, thank you for jumping on with us for our Family First Life Tri-State Training Day podcast. We are excited. We're kicking off the new year with a bang. We've had all kinds of great guests on, and today will not fail you. I got my man Josh Williams, Family First Life Knockout board member, newly minted board member, and the fastest ever to board member. Did it in 9 months, and this is crazy because this Josh is like a 4-minute mile. You know, at one point, this was impossible. And then, guys like, Witchard and then Hermati and now you, the fastest ever to board member. Congratulations, man, on all your success. This is fantastic, man. How you doing, brother? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling great, man. Thank you so much for having me on today, by the way.
Man, we're happy to have you on, man. Whenever somebody comes on and smashes records like you did, or like you're doing, you have to take notice. And it's been very impressive to watch what you're building. And I'm so glad to have you on so you can educate our audience on some of the stuff you're doing. But can you give us all a backdrop, kind of where you come from? How'd you find Family First Life, and, what Family First Life has meant to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So one thing people don't know about me, I'm 26, but I've been doing the insurance game for 8 years. So I'm not brand new to it. I guess I would say the first 6 years, I really played with my license. I didn't take it too serious. I was playing some college football, tore my ACL, lost my scholarship. They dropped me.
What position did you play?
Slot receiver.
Nice.
Yeah. So I played some ball, man, and it was amazing. It was great. But once you get injured, it's like, next man up, and they dropped me to the side. I dropped out of college. I wasn't going to pay for college myself. So immediately got my insurance license. I made some sales, selling friends, some family, just the warm market, made some quick money.
What made you get your insurance? Like what pointed you in the direction of insurance?
Well, you know what? I've always known that I wanted to be in some sort of business venture, like doing something myself, entrepreneurial. Like that's always who I was. I was in school just to play ball. If it wasn't for that, I would have done something else. But when I left school, I actually got started with network marketing. That's where I started this entire thing from. I read my first book at 19, network marketing. It taught me about personal development, just taught me how to go network, meet people, talking to people. And it gave me the ability to, like, the knowledge on how to go up to someone confidently and say, hey, who are you? What do you do? Whatever,
Love it.
And I went up to this guy one day at this restaurant who looked sharp. He was in a suit tie. And I'm trying to prospect him for network marketing. He's an insurance guy.
Okay.
And he offers me, a position, and I got my insurance license. First week out, made $5,000 through warm market.
Okay.
And it blew my mind. I said, yeah.
That's fantastic. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to get that backdrop. That's really good. It's helping us paint this picture. So keep rolling.
Yeah. So I grabbed that license, and it was cool, man. I made some quick money very quickly, and then I ran out of my family and friends because they didn't have any leads. So. Then I caught myself out, at Walmarts and all type of places, bumping into old ladies, trying to strike up conversation.
Bumping into old ladies.
It didn't work out too great. So ultimately, I started branching off to try all these different things. Man, I became I started trying so many different skills, from e-commerce to wholesale real estate. Got my real estate license. Did all these things, just whatever the next shiny thing was. Do Airbnbs, this, that, and the other. Flip cars, like just making money wherever I could. My insurance license was on hold this entire time, and I developed some great skills doing all these different sales jobs. And I think I sold pretty much anything you could think of that led me to where I'm at today. But ultimately, 2.5 years ago now, actually on February 4th, it will be 3 years when we head out to conference. My little brother was shot and killed.
Wow.
And he was a year before his 21st birthday. And when my family went through that process, that really hit me because it did two things for me. It solidified the idea that, hey, this is a product that is not like if you want it, but it's you need to have it.
Mm.
So I really felt the pressure there because I had to come out of my pocket. We had to scramble and get things together for
Wow.
the family. And then the other side of it was that I realized, like, dude, there's some people making a lot of money in the insurance space. And to be honest, I had just got done reading this book, Extreme Ownership, and I
Mm.
could not do anything but think about how I need to blame this thing on me. I honestly, obviously, it's not my brother's death isn't my fault. I had nothing to do with it. I wasn't even
Mm.
there. But I thought to myself, what if I was rich? What if I was wealthy? What if I was a multi-millionaire? And for the last 4 years, I didn't waste my opportunity in the insurance space.
Wow.
And all I could think about is we wouldn't be living in that environment. He
Wow.
wouldn't be with those people. He
Wow.
would have a total different life opportunity
That's
if I had
crazy.
executed.
Whoa.
And dude, it just like smacked me in the face, and I said no more. I was broke. I had no money. I ended up getting online, finding a guy that sold insurance at my practice company, and I said, "Hey, what do you do?" He looked like he had it all. You know, he was young, G wagon. He looked the part,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided to pack up. In 2 weeks, I drove from Kentucky to Arizona with less than $800 in my bank account to start my life over, to build this insurance thing. And it was very difficult in the beginning. I ran out of money. It wasn't what I expected, and I didn't execute quick enough. I just couldn't connect the dots on how to do all the bait and switching and things that we were doing. But
Mm.
either way, I ended up getting it, and I built a good, profitable business over there in about 4 or 5 months. But during the time that I was over there, I was sleeping in my car for the first 3, 4 weeks while I was building my business. And I got really good at recruiting because I was just up all night, couldn't sleep because I was in the car. So I'm sending out thousands of messages through social media, learning what to say, what not to say, all these different things.
Mm.
4 or 5 months later, I'm in a penthouse living a different life.
Huh.
But then that led me down this road, path of like me being on top of these people and making so much money, but they're broke. And I couldn't understand how that was even possible, that I had an agency of people who it was so profitable for me, but for them, they could barely pay their bills. And it did not feel right within my soul. And I'm like, you know what? I got to go. I started seeking out different opportunities, and it led me over to Family First Life, where I actually made a decision to come here because I was thinking about my people, how they would make more money. And I was honestly prepared to take a pay cut, but my income shot through the roof when I put my people first and came over here. So like it was a game changer for me. But now here we are 9 months later, $1 million, people are getting paid.
Yo, you're a thoroughbred, bro. That's strong. Like, I'm really impressed with this story. I'm enamored with life in itself, and I'm listening to you and seeing how the dots connected throughout your age, your young age, and just this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened, and it led me to this and this led me to that, and that's strong. And I think you just really learn how to tell your story really well, because it's really strong. Like, I see it as you're saying it. So thank you for that visual illustration. But man, so that brings you here. As you said, 9 months later, $1 million a month. So there's a lot of skills you learned doing all the things you did to get here. Like, people look at it and go, $1 million in 9 months. No. That's $1 million over 8 years. $1 million a month over 8 years, right? I mean, to some degree, I'm listening to you, I'm hearing myself, I'm watching myself, right? Network marketing and this, that, and the third, this business, that business, trying to make stuff happen, sales, recruiting, and and all of a sudden insurance, and then it's like, whoa, like all that became like talk to us about Family First Life, a tangible structure that allowed you to take all those skills. Like, what did you see coming over here that made you say, this is it? Or did you make a decision to come here and realize along the way, this is it?
To be honest with you, it was all he said, she said in the beginning. So I didn't really know what would be the truth. I just knew that you guys had a lot bigger numbers than what I had over there. And I'm a very logical, number driven type of person. You can show me your numbers, you can show me the bank statements, you can show me these things, and then I'll move. Otherwise, I won't. So when I came over here, the first 2 days I made $10,000, and that was it for me. I said, "This is it." The first 2 days, 10 grand, boom, like that, and it hit my account about 3-4 days later because it took. They had to go background check, all that kind of stuff. But once it hit my account, it was so real to me. And we were all so broke. And I was like, dude, this is it. And I realized that the systems that are in place here, because like before, when I would bring someone into my practice company, it would take them almost a month just to start getting out there producing because of a 6-page script, learning how to do referrals, there's so many moving pieces, so much that you have to learn. Here is plug and play. Call these people, say this. Sell them insurance, now recruit someone and teach them the same thing. So like I have people who have gotten a license and 3 days later they're making money. That's a plug and play system that's super duplicatable. And I wanted to build a big business, and you can't do it when you have to teach someone like all these crazy skills and all these 8 years of experience had to go through. Like I could exist in any company,
right?
But that's because I have 8 years of this, that, and the other, right? And when I take someone who knows nothing about sales, nothing about insurance, from bagging groceries and plug them into this, I feel highly confident that 3 to 5 days later they can get paid.
Got it. That's strong.
So that's what made it so real to me, was the high comp. It was the fact that we had leads, and with those two things itself, like that's it. Pay me a lot and give me somebody to talk to. That's business. That's it.
Yes. Pay me a lot. I love that. That's a quotable right there, Peter. Pay me a lot and give me someone to talk to. That's strong. So, I mean, obviously that reverberated itself out into your group, and you became a very good communicator of that message. What were some methods that you used from a recruiting standpoint to start building your business so quickly?
Selling insurance. That was the first thing, right? So I went out and did the work, and so did the people that we were working with. Like when we first came over here, I think I had about 5 or 6 people that joined me out the gate, that followed me over and hit the ground running with me. And the reality is that we were all broke and we just wanted to make some money. So we were all here together. It wasn't really like, let's build a business type of thing. It was like, let's go make some money. So we were just out trying to sling some insurance and make some money. And what happened was, while we were along the way doing that, we had deposits that were just like crashed in our bank accounts. We had never experienced that before. Like every day we're waking up to 2, 4, 5, 6, 10,000 in a day. I'm like, what's going on? And as we post those things, like that's real. You can fake the he said, she said, this, that, all this stuff, but bank statements, they don't lie. So when I posted that, dude, I made a lot of noise. Like I went on Instagram Live. After month 2, I had earned more than I had earned all of last year.
Wow.
So I went on Instagram Live and showed my 1099 from last year, and I logged into my actual bank account online in front of the whole world, showed them my checking account, showed them everything after leads, after expenses, after traveling, after everything. And I had saved more than I had made all that previous year.
Wow.
So that was the first step of making some noise and just getting some attention. That I had everybody looking and watching. And what happens is, when you leave a company, they either make an example of you or you'll make an example of them. And I just wasn't going to be the guy that they said, see what happened to him, don't leave.
Wow.
When you look at me, it's like, yeah, you better come on. So that's just kind of the approach that I went with it. And from there, we started being strategic in terms of reaching out to people through social media, marketing, attraction marketing, just different things.
I love it. Absolutely love it. And it sounds like you've used social as a platform for you to recruit. Would that make sense?
Absolutely. So we're at we'll do about, I think, 1.1 when it clears this month, and 100% of it was all organic growth. We didn't do any paid advertisements. We don't have any recruiting, social media recruiters, nothing. I have one staff member. Should I expand? Most likely, yeah, I probably should. But I didn't pay anything. We built this through social media for free.
Talk to us about that. That's a concept that is becoming more and more We've been on social since we started, but the amount of noise that we've made through Family First Life has made through social media through the years has gotten increasing and increasingly louder. You're part of a wave of people that's making it extremely loud in a good way to make noise and bring people into your organization through social. There's some people on here listening that aren't quite sure how to do that. So can you educate us on exactly some of the things you're doing and how you're making that happen?
Absolutely. I think when you look at recruiting through social media, it's kind of just like your sales approach. So if you're really good at sales, you can be really good at recruiting if you can connect the dots on this. And what I mean is that, for one, when you're marketing to people, the first thing on social media you have to understand is that if you try to have a conversation with someone, they're going to go look at your profile. So clean your profile up, look presentable, look sharp, make sure that you don't have 2 pictures of a cat and your grandma, and then that's your whole Instagram. Well, because that doesn't fit the what you're telling me. Like you're messaging me to join your business, and then all I see is you and your girlfriend. It doesn't really look like you're building a business. So number one, you got to look the part. But no, once you move out of that area, when you actually get going and start recruiting people, you have this market of people that right now. So let's say I use Instagram a lot. Let's say you're on Instagram, you have 1,000 followers. Well, that means you have 1,000 people, you have 1,000 leads. Just like if you're in sales, you have leads, right? So now we've got to make sure that we don't just constantly post, because posting to the same group is kind of silly, because eventually they've all seen your post. They've been following you for years and years. They're like, dude, we get it. You're hiring. I haven't joined you in the last 2 years. Stop posting to the same people. So what you have to go do, that's like the equivalent of buying leads and then like calling the same leads over and over and over and never buying more leads. So you need more attention, new eyeballs. So all you do is go add people. So that's number one. Instead of buying leads for sales, it's the same thing, but they're free here. All you have to do is do the work ethic, which is going out and doing the sweat equity. So on Instagram, on the search bar, that's my favorite place to go. On search bar, I can pinpoint the type of person I want to work with, where they live, so many different other things. So number one, hashtags. If you guys are on Instagram and you hit the search bar, you type in a hashtag. Hashtags can be whatever you want it to be. The fastest way to grow your business is licensed agents. Hashtag insurance agent, hashtag insurance, life insurance agent, hashtag health insurance agent, hashtag insurance rep, hashtag life insurance rep. So these are life insurance people. Hashtag XYZ insurance company. You can target their companies and different people. Outside of that, what other things can we do that are creative, that are people who are in our space but not in our space? So for example, hashtag door-to-door salesman, hashtag B2B, business to business, hashtag direct sales, hashtag car salesman, hashtag realtor, hashtag solar sales, hashtag pest control sales, hashtag mortgage sales. All these people, if you reach out to them, they're in a space that's very much like ours, where they're doing sales and dialing and calling people. So I can kind of control the type of person I'm talking to. That's one method where I can go find people. All we'll do is add these people. Just like buying a new lead batch. I go add 50 people. I go add 100 people, whatever.
This is following, correct?
Just following people. Just add them on their Instagram, like a few pictures, 15, 20, 30, depending on how great your profile looks and how much value you're adding to people, they'll add you back. Well, now you've got more leads to work. Nice. So for example, when people see me, like I'll post on my Instagram, hey, what's up guys? My name is Josh Williams. I run an insurance agency. We do this, that, and the other. And then I'll post it and people will respond to me saying, bro, we know who you are. We've been following you for like 5 years. And I respond, I'm like, dude, that wasn't for you. Like, you're irrelevant. I just added 100 people, right? So I have a new audience constantly. So I can get them through hashtags. I also can pinpoint certain people itself. So if you know a large insurance influencer from a different company, maybe someone high up at a different company, or even someone that is known to be in a space where they run an insurance organization like, Ed Milet, Patrick Bet-David, even if it's someone like Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone doesn't have an insurance license, but he's in a space where people follow him, not because he's cute, but because he's in business, he's in motivation, real estate, he's a hustler. So right. If they follow him, I would follow them, and they can follow me, and we can both be on the same frequency.
No doubt.
So you can follow accounts. And the last thing you can do is location. In the very beginning, I live in Arizona. In the very beginning, Mark, there wasn't a lot of CRM leads in my space because we had so many people out here and they needed to crank them up. So I just took off and I was like on the road for 6 months straight. And I went over to the East Coast and hired a lot of people. But all I would do, location on Instagram, I would type in Richmond, Virginia, and it would pop up all the people that either recently visited there or that they lived there. So I just scroll down to find like the main people that live there, add their profiles, like a few pictures, and they'll add me back. Well, that's the same thing as buying leads. We just extended our lead ability. Now, when you buy the leads, if you don't call the leads, you're crazy. You would be crazy. So now
speaking my language, bro.
We've got the people, and now we've got to contact the people. We can't just post and be like, I'm going to be so cool with this post and it's going to attract the whole world to join me. No. Right. I was going to people individually, sending out thousands of messages to build this thing. So once we get the people in this hub, we own their attention, we can market to them, and some of them will attract to us great. But more importantly, we need to go do the sweat equity, do the hard work and say, hey, Mark, hey, what's up, man? My name is Josh. And we have a conversation. So what those conversations look like is now once we reach out to them, we're presenting to them. Same thing with insurance. Now we're going to present to people about joining our business. Well, for me, in sales, if you can find a good problem, you can always sell insurance. If you can't identify a problem for the people or make them feel how urgent that problem is, they don't buy. They want to think about it. They want to shop around. They want to do whatever. Same thing with recruiting. I can have a conversation with you, but the problem for most people when they're trying to recruit others, they recruit from this idea of, have you ever heard of Family First Life? Do you want to make $20K a month? And that's like, I don't have a problem. You never identified a problem, but you're trying to give me an opportunity. An opportunity, Mark, is only something better than what I currently have. If you haven't asked me or helped me identify a problem in my life, how do you have an opportunity for me? You don't even know what I do. Right. I might not even want to get rich. I might love what I'm doing right now.
Right.
So what I'm doing is when I have the conversations, I break the ice with normal conversations. So for example, if I followed your profile, I see you post a motivational quote, I might swipe and comment on that. I see you in the gym working out, I might swipe up and say, yo, man, get that work in. Let me know where do you work out at? Or I might say, do you take any creatine? How often do you work out? Start a normal conversation with you. Now you'll say, yeah, I try to go at least once a day, whatever. It's a normal conversation and we're just talking.
Right.
And now, okay, that's cool, man. We should get together sometime and get a workout in. Are you local? No, I live out, over in Florida. Okay, well, I'm actually in Arizona. You're on the other side of the planet, bro. What do you do out there? Now we're going down this line of where I want you to go, which is telling me about your current employment so I can find a problem and get you up out of there. We ask great questions. That's all we do. We're just asking really good questions. So now we go down to this point of, well, what do you do out there? What do you do for work? Oh, I work at the bank. Oh, sweet, man. How long you been there? Oh, what made you get started there? Oh, what's your next plan? What's this? What's that? And these are just questions that lead you to complaining. Because people love to do one of two things. You complain or you brag. That's it. Everyone loves those things. Honestly.
Oh, I love it.
They brag or complain, and that it happens every time. And they'll say, well, I mean, this is cool, but it's just temporary. Well, why is that? Did you go to school for that? Or, no, I actually didn't go to school for this. I wanted to go back to school so I can get into this business. Or they have all these big goals. Well, or they might say, I mean, this is a cool job. I make a lot of money, but I have no free time. Boom, that's a problem. FFL, we can solve that. They might say, it's a great job, but my boss is a jerk. FFL can solve it. They might say, I mean, it's all right for now. I'm not really making the money I want to make. That's a problem. FFL can solve it. Now I make an offer, and now I close. And all I say is, and I keep everything traditional. And it depends on the person. But if I'm talking to an insurance agent or someone in the entrepreneurial space, I can have a different conversation. If I'm talking to an everyday average Joe, I'm not talking to them about 20,000, 50,000 per month. They don't even believe it. They red flag, scam, pyramid scheme, stay away. That's what happens to the brain. So when I make the offer, it's more so like you complain and I say, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Mark. Well, my company actually is hiring right now. No guarantees. I could talk to my boss and my manager and see if I can get you a spot with us. Well, no one's going to be like, nope, whatever it is, don't tell me about it. They're going to say, what is it? What do you do?
Sure.
And when they say, what is it? Well, yeah, I'm in financial services. Pretty much families put requests in for their retirement planning, their mortgage protection. And then they are also their life insurance. And my job is just to call them and help them get it set up. I mean, I make good money. I get to control my own schedule. So I like it. It's been great for me. I could talk to them for you though. Yeah, dude, that would be awesome. That would be great. Let me know. Then I don't respond to you for a day or 2 days. And you see me posting on, because again, I have them in this hub. I own their attention. I own their eyeballs. I've got your eyeballs right here. So you see me posting, marketing, showing my team, and you're like, hey, bro, did you ever talk to your boss? Right? Like, I've got them on the hook now.
I love this.
So now they're like, dude, did you talk to your manager? Oh, my bad, man. Hey, yeah, I actually did speak to him. He said, unfortunately, we're not looking for any more sales reps. We already have a lot. We're actually looking to put people through our management program to start training people. So he said that if you are able, unfortunately, you have to get your license for this. If you can pass the exam within 10 days, they actually will pay for it for you. And then boom. Well, dude, that would be great. Yeah. What do I have to do? How do I get started? I plug them in, boom. And then they get into it and they get into like chats, or they get immersed into FFL. And then they see Josh Williams and FFL knockout and million. Like, bro, you didn't tell me you were doing this. Yeah, it didn't matter. Like, and that's it. And that's how we move people from normal everyday people to joining FFL. That's how I do it. When we talk about numbers and 20K and show them how much I made and this and that, their brain cannot connect the dots on how you're making that and they're making that. They can't. It's just not real to them. To go from $2,000 to you talking to them about making $50,000 per month, it makes them doubt if they can do it. So I stay away from big numbers. I talk about normal things. I talk to people about, making a sale a day or a K a day. And we show them how to work. And then when they come in, dude, there's a process we go through to get people making money.
Dude, you're a beast, bro. I really, that was entertaining for me. I was kind of trying to go find some popcorn. But, well-weathered. I mean, you're definitely doing this thing. And that was very educational. So you have a gift there as far as training. I appreciate that. And I think it's pretty awesome, watching you at your age. Obviously it's social. You're in there, no big deal. But, I mean, just so fluent with it. And just, again, but a lot of this is recruiting. And, I'm having flashbacks of my MLM days. But I didn't use social back then. You know what I'm saying? But I used social to help me build this. But I did it with people that I knew. This is innovative because it's people that you don't know. And it's having conversations. Now, most of these conversations are through DM. All that's through DM?
DM. And for me at this point now, a lot of times it's a quick phone call.
Okay. Is that at the end or is that in the middle? Like,
well, to be honest, at this point, Mark, I get a lot of traffic coming in for me now to where it's more so they ask me, hey, what do you do? Hey, bro, can I figure out? Like, they're messaging me and I just respond and say, hey, I got a busy day. Send me your number. I'll give you a quick phone call.
Yeah.
Hop on the call. Hey, what's up, man? How'd you find me? How'd you hear about us? Have you ever been in sales? Okay, cool. Well, what we do is this, very simple, blah, blah, blah. And I give them what we do. I'm very straightforward. You have to get your license. We'll teach you everything from A to Z. And that's the approach I have now because I've built this thing to where I'm getting some inbound
that's
action.
Strong.
Yeah, but in the beginning, it was going down in the DMs for sure.
Good man. How many hours would you say a day you were spending on the DMs?
Well, it's throughout the day. So, even right now, people are messaging me right now that I've been back and forth with, and I just do it randomly. If I'm selling, I'm selling. When I get down off the sale, I might send a few DMs. When I get off a call, I might send a few DMs. So it's just sporadically throughout the day. But what I do have is I have a checklist every morning that I do that there's a bare minimum that I do, right? So there's like this 10 by 10, 20 by 20, 50 by 50 challenge that you can do that we use. And it's whatever you want it to be, depending on how out there you want to be. But for example, 10 people a day, if I made a guarantee to say, no matter what happens, I'm going to make sure I message 10 people today. That will take you 10 minutes.
Right.
You copy and paste a few DMs, it's 10 minutes. But if you message 10, you need to add 10 because you're going to work through your leads. You need new eyeballs, right? So when you message 10 people a day over 30 days, that's 300 people. There ain't no way that 10 people out of 300 don't join you and say, right, I'll go through the contracting process. So 10 by 10 challenge, I would do that in the morning before I start my day. So nothing's more important to me then before I start at 8 a.m. on the phones, I've got to make sure I've done at least 20 to 50 messages sent out, depending on how I feel. Some days it's different. Some days I do more, but every day I message 25 people every single day. And then they message me back. And throughout the day, I'm having ongoing conversations with these people to where when I send that original message out every day, then every day after, eventually you just have this continuous thing going of this pipeline of people in and out, in and out, in and out, to where it's automated.
That's strong. Now, I wonder, I'm always like, all right, well, I'll do 10 push-ups a day. I'm like, what if I did 100? You know what I'm saying? What if I did 100 push-ups a day? So it's 10, 25, or 50? Is that what you're saying? Is that?
You make it whatever you want to make
no
it, to be honest. But when I originally built this thing, when I was sleeping in my car, I would be crazy to tell you I wasn't sending at least 100 messages out per day. But I went from sleeping in my car with 0 people to, a manager over there with over 60 plus writing agents, all from scratch, none of that I knew at all. I was in a new city, I didn't know anybody, but I was messaging. I had to say at least 100 plus per night, but I was sitting there for a couple hours because I couldn't sleep, just on the phones, dude. So, and to be honest, you might wake up and get your morning routine done, work out, do whatever you do, and you have an hour blocked off, and that's your power hour, your growth hour to build business. You go drop however many calls you can. You can do it in time frame too, or you can have a target in terms of how many messages you want to send out. What I've seen is I would have a target on how many messages, because a lot of times people, they say I'll do from this time to this time, and they sit there and they're not doing much at all but scrolling through pictures and stuff.
Yeah, got it. That's strong. That's very strong, and obviously, that is what you've done. Now, you mentioned an entrepreneurial person or insurance person. What's the close on that? You talked about, closing down someone who's an average and ordinary Joe, but what is your close on an insurance agent? Same style.
So for that, it's a little bit different. These people, if I go follow someone who's in the insurance space, it's not rocket science. They know that I work at Family First Life. They can see what I'm doing. They know it's like you can't come in with the Trojan horse and jump out like you can't really do that, right? So when it comes to that, I use really my marketing to speak for me when it comes to licensed agents. I'll go down and add like 100 of them, and now let's say 15 to 20 of them add me back. Well, they're somewhat interested because they see it's very obvious that I'm working at a different company, and they're still going to follow me and allow their mindset to be disrupted by what we're doing. So I know they're open to communication. And what I'll do is I'll apply pressure. Like I do this in cycles. So let's say I go add 100 licensed agents. Well, I'll go hire 100 of them, and then I will market towards those people for about 3 to 4 days. And then I have an app that tells me which one of them followed me back and which one of them didn't. So if the ones didn't follow me back, they're not interested. I'll go remove them or whatever. Or I might just take a long shot and shoot them over a DM. But either way, the ones attention that I do have that did follow me, I'll market towards them, and I'll put pressure on my marketing with my stories. I'll 10x my stories with a lot more things like, hi, my name is Josh Williams. We went from this to this in this amount of time, just sharing experiences. Maybe I might do a meet so-and-so post where, hey, meet Orlando. This guy joined me and had $500 in his account. 2 weeks later, he had 15,000. Give him a follow, right? So I will market to their eyes like that. But the conversations are more so focused on what problems they have, and every one of them are different. So for me, I was making money at the last company. I wasn't making nearly what I'm making now, but I was making money, and my bills are paid usually between 15 to 20,000 per month. And my problem was different from other people's problems, to where my people were broke as heck. And since I actually cared about my people, that was a legitimate problem for me, and I wanted to solve it. So I would have conversations with people about, what's your end goal? Are you doing this temporarily to use it as a vehicle to get into something you love? What's the exit strategy? Is it waiting 10 years for your renewals? Is it this, that, the other? Like, how do you stop? Where do you go next? Are you wanting to build something? Okay, if you want to build something, how duplicatable is what you're doing? Like, is it very difficult to keep people when you look up every couple months? Are you looking at a new team? So I'll say things that I know they're going through because I've been through other companies before, but all I'm doing ultimately is figuring out what problem they have, and I'm speaking to that problem.
No doubt. Yeah, man. First off, I love it, and thank you so much. This has been extremely helpful. Um, it's no coincidence. You're the fastest guy to 1 million. I'm expecting that to keep going, and y'all got crazy momentum. So, I mean, if you could give a parting shot to a new agent, what would you tell them?
Man, to be honest, this business, it's a beast. But if I'm brand new, what I'm doing is I'm making sure the bills are paid and I'm learning. I'm making sure bills are paid and I'm learning. So for all the new people coming in, I think the biggest thing you can do is have the right perspective. When you come into business, this is a business. And there's people that spend millions to buy a McDonald's franchise or other franchises just to break even for the first 3 to 5 years. When you come here, you run a business. And the cool thing is that you only spend $150 to get through the licensing process. So you really didn't lose anything. So you've got a lot to learn, and you got to go out and take your lumps and take your L's, because there's going to be waves. And even for me, it's a nonstop thing. And it's not the people who have the best skill set, but it's the ones who just have that will to not stop, because there's been waves and waves and waves of inconveniences that has smacked me in my face all last 9 months,
No doubt.
the whole 9 months. And every time I have to make a decision, do I move forward or do I retreat? And I never retreat. So if I'm you, I go buy leads. If I don't have the results I want out of them, I buy more. If I have no money, I jump in my car, I go drive Uber, I make money, I come back and I do it again. And each time I learn and I reach up and say, hey, this is what I did this time. What do you like? What can I do better? I never reach side, down. I go up. Hey, you have what I want. What can I do differently? If I don't have money, I go generate money through Uber Eats. I sell my Xbox. I do whatever I gotta do to make sure I can get this thing going. But that's what I would say. Go take your L's. You got to.
Yo, man, we got to get you back on, bro. I mean, I could do this for probably another hour, but it wouldn't bring our audience the value I need because of the time. So, because I know there's so much more in that brain that I wanna extract and kind of get out there. But I've learned a great deal today. So just talking with you, man. So I'd love to connect more and certainly get you back on here as a guest, man. You killed it, and you're killing it. So thank you so much for adding value. Hey, you didn't go to annual convention then at Family First?
This last one we just had in Arizona?
Yeah. Were you there?
Oh, I was on stage. Yeah.
Oh, no. Annual. So the one that's coming up in February. You weren't here yet.
This will be my first time.
How about that, man? How you feeling about your first convention?
I'm excited, man, and it's gonna be crazy to be there with 15,000 people. It'll be my brother's 3rd year anniversary on his death date, and I'll be surrounded by so many people thinking about what inspired me to get going on this journey. So
that's amazing,
I'm excited.
Man. Dude, you're a beast, man. I'm appreciative that you're here at Family First Life and that you are you're going to help a lot of people, dude. Like I can, it drips off of you. I really appreciate where you're coming from, where you come from, and what your message is. So thank you, man, for jumping on with us. We're gonna get a great deal of response from this. So appreciate you, Josh. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Let's make it a big week. God bless.